Okay, so today I've got a unknown brand, but an old dial version. Was that a 4-inch TV? CRT TV. I mean, this is just a TV. Unfortunately, when I first saw it, I was like, maybe it's a oscilloscope, but then I realized that the dials on it were just UHF and VHF dials, so it's just a TV. So, since it did not have a case that came with it, I can't really tell you much about it, other than I would assume that this is going to be, probably 80s, maybe back into the 70s. And I can tell you right now, what we've got in my hand here is a nice little roll of copper. So that's all copper bearing, and it's on plastic, so not too worried about it, but we'll get that later. Actually, I'll set it aside for now. Okay, let's see what we got here. This came to me from the guy who has been supplying me with all the CRT, and then more recently the flat panel TVs, when we were cleaning out his shed so that he could use it for other purposes. Unfortunately, his wifey spoke, and as usual, wifey gets what wifey wants. I would do the same thing. Fortunately, my wife does not come down into my shop, so I have free reign down here. Upstairs, completely different story. Lots of jumper wires here. This is back in the day when it was all circuit boards were just one surface boards. Nowadays they run multi-surfaces, so you'll have 2 or 3 layers of copper in the boards themselves, so they can do, they don't need all these jumper wires that they did back in the day. A little messier to clean up here. Okay, that board's all cleaned off now. There's a few more jumper wires on the front. Now we're starting to see the guts of this thing, though. This, I believe, might be the flyback transformer. At least in part. Yep, that definitely looks like a flyback transformer, except this one you can actually see the copper that's exposed down in there. Normally, more recent ones, these are all filled with resin and have to be incinerated to get the copper out if you want to go after it. There's the other part of the flyback transformer. Got another copper band over here. This is just electrical tape, it looks like. There's the copper. Put that on the floor. I got to do cleanup around here anyway. Antenna connections. Everything on the back panel. Got some kind of a little switch there. Probably a reset switch. That looks like it's going to be about right bit. 5 can go back there. 2 more out over here. Right there. Let's get these back in here. 1/2 inch, 7/16. So now I've just got them out. Yeah. Do try to get your tools back where they belong. That way they're always there when you need them. Well, I got the nut off there. And there's that. More electrical tape, it feels like. These are done. These are just. You have to twist these little things to be able to get them out if you want to go after them. Or the other option is just grab your flathead pry bar and you can just pry them out. Looks like this thing's coming apart. There it goes. Those are just metal. Those look like they might be brass. Yeah, those are brass. That's steel. So let's see if we can get those off. There it goes. Those are just bits of brass, and since they come off easy, go ahead and grab them. Back up out of the way. You can go over there out of the way. The big thing on this is just nipping all of these jumper wires so you can get the things. Just got 2 more left over here. Don't expect much in terms of gold recovery from this. May have a little bit of silver in it. And of course copper. There's that board. The board off the back of this guy real quick. That one. That's off. That one. One of the other things I like to do is, like right here, they'll put a terminal block in to connect different lines to, and they'll put capacitors on the terminal blocks themselves. So you have to go and get all of those off. Apparently you got to get all this off first. We got the speaker over here. Some kind of a switch, it looks like. Actually, this looks like it's probably the power input. Well, if that's just the power input, I'm probably going to leave it. And that speaker can actually stay there as well. Let's go ahead and get the screen off here. It looks like about 5/16. Oh, a little smaller, now 30 seconds. Yep. Oops. The heck am I doing? The tool does not go together that way. There's our CRT. And it's got a couple more wires to free up here, including the flyback. And this is our little yoke on it. There. We've got a nice little copper band in that. We'll take a look at here before we throw it in the bucket over there. And this is our main yoke. A lot of copper, very low ferrite on this one. That's nice to see. Do look between these things, because oftentimes there will be a brass plate in between here, just like this one. Just like that one. Not much brass, but it is brass. The rest of that's copper. So I'm going to set this aside. This will need to be treated like our televisions, the regular CRTs, which is going to be ground down. I'm attempting to recover the lead, which is in this back. It's called the funnel portion of the tube. This dark portion is leaded glass. I'm trying to recover the lead from this now, and I'll give you some updates once I have a little bit more time to play with it. But I'm using chemicals to try and recover it. And then the front plate here is just regular glass. And the back here, I'm not sure what metals these are that are in this vacuum tube portion, but I do want to try and do something with those at some point. But I've got to set this aside for now. Tiny one, so I don't have to worry about it falling over, getting damaged too much. Let's see here. Any screws? I don't see any screws on this. Just this little peg holding that one on. Okay. Back to cutting wires. Puppers don't sound happy. Current situation here at my house. Lillian is out of town for the next month. So I am once again a bachelor. It's kind of nice when I get to be a bachelor, or pretend to be a bachelor for a little bit. The puppers are alone and they're complaining. That's through there. I'll go out and check on them in a few minutes. Make sure everybody's still alive. Okay, got you done. Screw up here I can get. There's that part of the tuner. You're held up by this wire connector. There we go. There's that one loose. And this one, I said, I'm just going to throw it into shred. Okay, I got another screw here. While we're here, there's that, and I got two more of these brass standoffs. And that's just shred now. Back into here for more wire. And what I'm trying to do is I've actually been trying to clear the space behind me, because that's where I want to put the copper separator, the copper sluice that I've purchased all the stuff that I need to make it. I just need to put it together now, and so it's just a matter of me clearing the space so that I can do so. Not being nice. Stay. Okay, there's that one. Loose. Another screw up here. That shred. Okay, these guys. Definitely not that size. I think that was another 30 seconds. Apparently not. 3/8. Nope, 7/16. There we go. Almost gotten this guy broken down now. is just shreds. Got one little light on it I don't care about. Potentiometer. There's number 2, 3. There's number 4. Yeah, the rest of this should just be copper wire now. Might have something like this guy hiding in it. Or this thing. And that's all just copper wire now. Copper wire, copper wire. Now we're just in cleanup phase. So we can see what we can see here. Yep, I'm definitely going to have to go up here in just a minute. I hear Kenai complaining. If she's complaining, it's a big deal. Kenai is 14 years old. That's part of the reason you'll never hear me play music down here, is because I need to be able to hear these guys. Okay, so we got these boards. We have one of those. That's not from that. Where the hell did you come from? Plastic from that. Transformer. Yeah. I shall be right back. I'll have to go take care of proppers. I'm back now. This little guy has a couple of wires I'll cut off here. And I'm not sure if it's something. Okay. A ceramic capacitor on the back. These look like switches of some kind here, so there might be a little silver in that. Otherwise, we got copper, copper. This guy is an old style transistor, if I'm remembering correctly. So this may actually contain silver again. I know that we got some brass standoffs. Some of this may be stainless steel as well, although these all look brass to me. This guy is the antenna hookups, and it's got some ceramic capacitors in here as well. I don't want to keep all of this, so let's see if I can get this cut out. There's that one. Got it in there tight. There's that one. So I don't want to keep the rest of this. It's just, well, that's brass. So we'll toss it in brass recovery. A little screw here. And of course that one's going to come out. Now it's just brass recovery. So that'll go through the hammer mill to relieve all that. Potentiometers, I don't know what's in them. I think there might be silver in them, but I'm not positive. Potentiometer. Another switch that'll have a little bit of silver. This will have some brass in it. This guy I'm not sure about, but they'll go over there. These guys, I'm wondering if these are just ferrite. Yep. Ferrite discs that were on the back of the CRT. So let's get this steel out of the way. You I want to take a look at. Okay, that's all steel. The rest of this is going to have to be brass, because I'm not seeing anything else that looks stainless. That's ferrite. So these guys I'm confident are brass. I'm guessing these nuts and washer, that's brass, that's brass. I'll test these again once I've got them all in my hand. That one's plastic. Oh, these are the screws that came out of the yoke. That, I'm not sure what it is, but it seems to be magnetic. Yep, this is all brass or stainless, and I'm deciding on all of it being brass. Just from the little bit I can see there. They're not part of that. The rest of this are bits of plastic, it looks like. That was that one. Potentiometer was set to aside. These two are going to need to go through the whatchamadoodle. That's a capacitor. Okay. Rest of that is plastic. This one piece right here, this is actually mica. Sheet mica. I don't know that there's any value there, but I'll take a look. I doubt it. Okay, so these can go to copper recovery. And in fact, the flyback transformer, I'm going to send it to copper recovery as well. This one does not have to be incinerated to get the copper out of, which is nice bonus there. Okay, this is the tuner. So we got some capacitors and some resistors in here. And can I show you what's inside here? For a little while. It's got some more brass standoffs here. Oh, those are free. Took you out. We'll pry. Okay. I used to love playing with these when I was a kid. That should be shred. Just because, I don't know if you can see on that, but there's little copper spools in all those, and they're all different because each one picks up a different frequency. So I'll take this all apart later. Actually, that might be a good Greeblies. Yeah, that might be a good Greebley because nobody will know what that looks like anymore. I don't think there's any real value. I mean, there's, you know, a small amount of copper there, but that's it. So I'll hold on to that as Greebley right now. And then this one. If I could just pop this one off. They are at it again. You're not wanting to come off on me. There it goes. So this is another type of tuner. This is the VHF tuner, I believe. But it's a proximity capacitor, if I'm remembering the terminology correctly. But there's no electrolyte. It's just the amount of air between it that allows it to have capacitance. And this is nice gearing in here. I'll hold on to this one for now, but I don't think I can really use it. It doesn't look particularly... doesn't look like it's you know, I don't think it looks cool enough. But that's cast aluminum. This back here is steel. That's steel. This little piece right here is cast aluminum though, where this transmission is. And I would have to take all that apart to get to it. So, but I'll hold on to it for now, but we'll see. Shred. This little piece looks like it's copper. Yep. The other portion of the flyback transformer here, this piece does look like it's resin. So, in order to do anything with it, I would have to incinerate it to try and get any copper that's in here back out of it. That is just rubber. Alright. I don't know. It's possible Greebley. It's interesting, but I don't know. Not particularly outstanding. So yeah, I'll toss it in to worry about later. And we had 2 more bits of brass. Well, I don't know where the other one went, but here's one. Oh, there it is. So 2 more bits of brass there. This little guy, it's got some flashing on it. Honestly, if I'm being serious here, that honestly looks like gold flashing right there and there. This looks like copper. So I don't know. Maybe I did get a little bit of gold in this. I'll hold on to that and see if anything comes out. So we've got a nice little chip here. So I do have some gold recovery. This is, again, like I said, a transistor or MOSFET, old style, more modern MOSFET. Transistors, a little bit of copper. That looks like a capacitor there. And some ceramic capacitors as well. Aluminum capacitors also. Backside just got a few resistors. There's a little copper coil there, but nothing of import. These will not have any major components on the backside of the board. This little board, we got a couple on the backside capacitors again. Large ceramic capacitors, which I love because those are potential silver. Some aluminum capacitors, got another copper transformer here. A nice big capacitor again, and this guy's got another transistor slash MOSFET type item, potential silver in there. Another little copper bearing item down there in the middle. We'll have to go get these dogs in. More ceramic and resin-based capacitors here. Another little transformer. Not sure what these two are. Do I see a code? I see an R, G, and B, and W, and an L there. So, I mean, these are obviously doing something with the color. R6T. I am not entirely sure what these are, but they've got something to do with the RGBW function of the TV, obviously. So, doing something with the picture tube. Picture tube board, some resistors, some a nice ceramic capacitor there, another little transformer, and we got these little guys that have a G code on them, and I do not know what that is for. And see, this is a VR, which is a variable resistor, also known as a potentiometer. This board, backside, doesn't really have anything on it. Let's go ahead and tear these guys open. You can see that there's nothing hiding up under them. I don't know why they even put them on there other than to keep space, I guess. I'm not going to worry about getting that one off. But there's nothing there. This side, we got these little covers here. Got one chip there. Transformers, MOSFETs, capacitors, resistors, diodes. The transistors on these are chunky transistors, so might have good gold recovery in those. There's a big crystal. I mean, this is that should tell you how old this thing is. Look at the size of that crystal. Okay, under the hoods here. Get those out of the way. What are those? Got a Q code on some of these items. I'll have to look up what those are. That looks like an L code, so those are usually inductors. But more ceramic capacitors, more resistors. Over here, same deal. Another transistor, inductors, capacitors, resistors. This one does have another little chip in it and a couple more little copper bearing items as well. But nothing surprising in here, but nothing, nothing incredibly special either. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Have a good one.